Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to an Edit With Me live session. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Alongside the raw stories my characters weave throughout time and space, I encourage, coach, and play editor for other authors seeking to set their writing or reset their writing back to Phoenix mode right after life's quills are done being in their way. In short, it is my goal to invite you to take the quills life gives you and write a new story. I'm here to cheer you on today through a little bit of that with this Edit With Me live. So what exactly are we doing today? Let me go ahead and give you the scroll across the bottom that I'll put up a couple of times as you come on in and out. This will work rather similar to the writing sprints I host on Friday and Saturday nights, but not exactly. Many of you are here from the Heart Breathings writing community, and thank you very much for showing on over and showing some love. So I'd also like to go ahead and show some thanks to Books by Adrian for making my opening and channel closing. There's some links there in the chat for you if you would like to go ahead and join in. So we're going to do 2 sprints, about an hour worth of sprints or so today, 25 minutes each, very familiar to what we're used to, but at the same time, I'm encouraging slightly longer chats. This is a time for you to go ahead and predominantly maybe some editing questions, but maybe just a question in general you would have for an editor. You could go ahead and get super specific. I would love to eventually in the future bring people on for some live coaching if they are so brave and willing to go ahead and do that. If not today, then in a future session. There will be some of these maybe once or twice a month in the future. And I just think it'll be a fun way for us to get together, hang out, chat, and focus on specifically a part of the writing process that a lot of us don't enjoy, the editing process. So we're going to go ahead and kind of check into the chat box, say some hellos. Felicia's there. It's good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing well. Cool Gamer stopped by along with hello, my hubby, the Cheesecake Man. I love you, hon. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here, darling. I know he's on the road listening in. And then Elizabeth is here. Great to see you. I like editing most of the time. Yes, I love editing other people's stuff. I struggle to edit my own stuff. So this is also helping to keep me accountable because during the sprints, I'm actually editing something to go up on my Ream. So my accountability to keep my own edits going is to post something up on my Ream stories the afternoon after or the evening or whatever after we do these. Hello there. If you all have not been following Q-Wordy's channel, you need to. Some epic sprints. Create-a-thon's been treating you well, my friend. I love watching live and or on the replay, and I think I have an unboxing to do for you in the future. Yes. I was just about to say, often I hear you saying editing is your thing. I was actually kind of thinking of you, or was maybe sitting in one of your streams when I came up with this. You're welcome. Crystal, good morning. I am married, so no offense, but let me clarify you with my students. This is the nicest way I could say this, so I don't mean any offense. I'm married to my husband. I deserve the R. Thank you very much. It's Mrs. Not M-I-S-S, it's M-R-S. If you didn't know, for those of you live and on the replay, this is the other part of the marriage, the other half of the marriage, my soulmate, the dude that we drive each other crazy like the 90s songs say you're supposed to. Truly, madly, deeply, all that. Right here. So, yes, as I say, I earned that R. I'm married. I'm glad you're feeling much better today as well, my friend. Yes, you've been working really hard here lately, and I know somebody else in chat, Rita, has been editing a lot too. So for those of you who are coming on in and joining us for the revising and editing videos, I'm here to cheer you on first. go ahead and take a moment to pick whatever it is you're editing while we're settling in here. And I just run through the rules, structure one more time with everybody. It's going to be very similar to my normal writing sprints, but this is also time for you to be asking for help with editing, revising, even if you're editing and revising an outline for Preptober or NaNoWriMo, whatever it is, a blurb, whatever it is. If the words "I need to edit and revise this thing" applies to any part of your writing process or publication process, we're here to focus Fox specifically on that for you. 2 sprints are ahead, 25 minutes each. Chats will probably be a little more free flow and longer. I'm hoping to go about an hour. So 25 and 25 is 40. Gives us about, 10, 15 minutes in between our chat breaks. So I encourage you to ask questions, not just of me, but of the group. Because as we know from my normal writing sprints, sometimes not me, it's the audience. So do not hesitate to help each other if you're stuck. And keep in mind, I would love to bring a brave soul up on a future episode to do some live coaching and live editing with them and their work on screen. So if that is something you're interested in doing, hunt me down before the next one. I think I have a date later this month, maybe not. Yes, novels sometimes do write themselves for us overwriters. Hi, Jody Jean. If you want to get some sprints for the Heart Breathings writing community, other than Tracy the Revised Writer having one this afternoon that we're going to try and wrap up before. I know some of you go to her planning. Going to try and wrap up before if she's doing those. Jody Jean's also on tomorrow night over at Jody Jean Just Right. So it could be a Southern thing, but I live in a border state, so we don't really count ourselves either, even though, yeah, that's Maryland. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into our first sprint a little bit here. And y'all are kind of familiar with my timer, so we'll go ahead and get it started. I'll take time to adjust the audio because if Angela's sitting at the back table, she'll remind me it's too loud. All right, everybody. I shall see you all on the other side. Do not hesitate to ask your questions and your helps in the chat while we edit. Let's rock it. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and drop into a little bit of a break there. So, how'd it go for all of you? I'm currently struggling with too many characters in the scene, and I wasn't sure who was talking. We'll put it that way. Too many characters in the scene. We have Rita saying in chat, revising and editing for YouTube. These videos can be very fun. I think we got that before we went. Oh, yes, confirmation from Elizabeth Landis. Tracy, the revised writer, is doing writing sprints today at 3 and then doing the planning session at 6. I know she's been feeling a little bit under the weather as of late, so double check over at the revised writers channel. And or the heart breathings link I dropped in chat previously, but I can go ahead and get revised. Bam, writer. There's the channel link and put it there as well. So if you want to go ahead over and say hello and things. Q, what are you saying? Oh, thank you. I will admit, the Aries inside of me is a lot more like somebody than I care to admit. For those of you who don't know, this is Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon. I will not lie. The color scheme of things was kind of haunting me from childhood, following me from childhood. Melissa, hello. I know Melissa is sitting in class. I'm actually skipping out on the second half of class this morning and catching up before we have class later tonight. There's a lamp there, Jenna. Anyway, so like this class is amazing. If you want to learn more about the things we've been learning in this class, I have a couple of more videos coming out, one specifically tomorrow, but later this week, that are kind of like results of the homework from the class Melissa and I have been taking. But this, if you have not seen Mel's challenge video that she put out yesterday sometime, please do so. She's echoing a lot of the things that I've mentioned. Please do go ahead and give it a check out. And also, there's rumblings that a couple of us might be doing something fun this coming Sunday, a week from this Sunday, over on Melissa's channel. So if you are not subscribed, you need to be. I posed a question to the audience here. Past or present tense with first person. Ty stepped in. Hello. It's good to see you. Welcome, my friend. We're going to do one more sprint, editing whatever you would like while you're with us. And we'll do a little bit of a wrap up. Any questions you might have can be about any type of editing or revisions. I'll be doing these every so often, and we'll just focus on editing because, well, a lot of us don't enjoy doing that part of the writing process, me included when it's my own work. So we're our own worst critic, right? The Cheesecake Man, isn't it always better in past person because the story is essentially being recanted? Good verb choice, by the way, with recanted. No one says that enough outside of equestrian stuff anymore. The question was past or present tense. I realized when I saw his answer that this is a very genre specific. Like, Rita, your genre for first, it could be both. If you do fiction, crime, thriller, it really depends, if it's historical in any way, shape, or form, right? Like the Myrna Annals for me, I'm writing that in third past, but I have two others I think I'm writing are first. And one was past, one was present. I didn't realize I did that, but we know consistency is key. So I'm trying to figure out. Rita, good question. And I'm going to put a pause. Doesn't have to last 5 minutes on the timer. We can go a little over. You have a problem with repeating information revealed in previous chapters in later chapters. So something is not quite right with the amount of breadcrumbs. If we equate it to Hansel and Gretel going back to the grandmother or whomever's cottage, sometimes the more breadcrumbs you leave in and more often, the worse and more confusing it can become for you and the reader. So this is where I say really focus on your pacing. If you need to relate it to the Freytag's pyramid, the plot diagram pyramid, that can help. I know that when it comes to pacing humor, I use, okay, where in the plot do I want these key points to kind of give my plot a roller coaster effect with the up and down of the emotions? You can do the same with info. Kind of treat it like a roller coaster and think, okay, what are the most essential moments, or are they just recapping it for the sake of recapping it and word count at this point? As an overwriter, it's not a hard concept to learn. It's just a difficult thing to reprogram our brains as writers to go ahead and say, I've said this once, I don't need to repeat it again. Keep in mind, some of the most essential quotes, catchphrases, moments in a novel get said once, get talked about once, and then the plot moves on. Maybe someone says something about it in dialogue to update us on it, or to say, well, this happened as a ripple effect of, but you don't want to go back to it a little bit more. You want the impact itself to be what stays, and then look at the ripples from it. Hearing Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas in my head, whenever you dip one thing in the water, what happens to the ripples, right? That's a good question, Rita. Thank you for sharing that with us. Any other questions? Please do feel welcome to share. Elizabeth, you got a bit of the rewrite of the chapter done. Congrats. This is the part I was wondering how she was feeling. So it's good to hear she is still feeling that consistency with getting better. And I did go ahead and put the link there to Tracy the Revised Writers channel for later today. Rita, you're editing the first chapter of book 2, which is actually, gotcha. So keep in mind here what you said. It's a different character's perspective. Some stuff has to be congruent. Think like a crime scene or a detective rather trying to grab bystander commentary. Treat it like bystander commentary. They're going to have maybe a handful, give or take, of things similar. So I wondered if you were a Jupiter fan, my friend. You spent that sprint not editing, but book shopping. I'm not going to tell. You run a channel that does both, so it still fits. It's not your file. Your friend released. Yay! You know a lot of people who do that. Not your fault at all. Jess, hello, Mama Maggie. Thank you for doing some hopping on over. I was wondering if you would have a comment on this, and it popped up right as I was just seeing your last one. Your brain repeats things way too much, and you find yourself writing the same, this. I remember you talking about this in a previous live stream on your own channel. Yes, I know I'm hiding. It's okay. But you probably also have processes in play to catch yourself, or someone who knows to look for that in your writing too. Exactly. This is a good time where a really good beta reader or developmental editor who knows what your patterns are, regardless of why you have the patterns, can be a benefit on any kind of book at any point in your editing, writing career. See, I am an overwriter myself. Numerous revisions. For me, think of it also in higher ordered and lower ordered thinking. Easiest comparison I can give you there, the plot and the character development matter way more than the word count and how pretty the grammar and stuff looks. I would much rather that you have the mechanics of telling the story down before we even look at the grammar stuff. I was going to say, you write time travel so you can play fast and loose when you need. I'm writing my series on a timeline is part of the reason why I was asking, because the part I'm writing now is the past. The part I'm starting to get into is modern, contemporary, around now, today. And then I have a futuristic piece. So that's good for me to keep in mind. Thank you. This conversation's been mucho productive, and I think we should get into another sprint. We can have another chitter chat on any other questions you have after the next one, I think. All right. And then we'll wrap her on down. And again, I am looking for people to join me for some live coaching on screen if you want in the future. If you're interested, contact me. Otherwise, I need to click you something, don't I? Yes, I do. And I shall see you all in another 25-ish minutes. Rock it out. You've got this. Stop believing the lies. Stop believing the imp. They're wrong. I apologize. I had a little bit of tech gremlin lag I was not anticipating on having when clicking through all the settings there. Note to me to work on that next time. Anywho, welcome on back. That was the end of our second of 2 sprints. This is going to be your moment to ask any final questions you have, add any commentary in the box you would like before we wind down and wrap one out. Jenny's here. Good to see you. Good to see you. KL, welcome, welcome, welcome. I did put a question for the audience in chat on average, or if you were to give me an ish / a continuum, how many characters do you think is too many on a page? I have 7 all trying to talk right now. It's like, oh my gosh, is that too many? I have a huge cast in this book to begin with. That's why so many of them are not safe, and I am a character slayer. Check the mugs below in the Rebirth collection before they disappear at the end of October. Anywho, Mama Maggie, time travel series characters in one direction and second set of characters. Oh, yes. You have one doc of events and who's there and the time direction they're moving. You have almost 50K of world building. I'm curious, to watch you go through this. I hope you guys can hear me now. Do apologize for that. So, KL says, you feel the exact amount of people talking per. Ooh. Depends on what needs to be said. Gotcha. Some people, like in a movie or whatnot, some characters are going to become backdrop anyway, right? Is one person doing the majority, the rest just chiming in? Ooh, good points. Or is it just everyone talking? I have a lot of people fighting for talking now. I feel like 6. Yeah, I like those numbers. 3, 6s. We tend to like those. I was wondering if that would be an application there. Personal opinion and preference. Nim, it's great to see you. We are actually just getting to wrap on up. We were only doing 2 sprints with the edit with me today. I am going to do once or twice a month these hour or so long editing only sprints. So you could bring stuff for me and you to workshop live during chats if you want, or we can help each other in the chats and answer questions this way, a little bit more free flow and free form. So if you want to go ahead and join us, I will have, I think there's already one up for later in the month, possibly. Those are going to be specific to ones for prepping for Preptober. Mambo, the epic birdo, took over your hand. No work done, and that's okay. Self-care counts as work and sometimes just mentioning someone nodding. Yeah, sometimes it's body language. That's a good point. Maybe someone needs body language and can help with the evidence of tension there. That's a really good point. All right, everyone. I think we are going to go ahead and then wrap it up. And I shall see you tomorrow, a couple of different ways. Tomorrow I have a video coming out. You are welcome and congratulations. Congratulations, my friend. You did it. That is epic awesome. Tomorrow I have a video coming out talking about feeling the fear and doing it anyway during this time of year, which is a precursor video I have about an idea incubator that I'm putting together for a group of authors who need it for various reasons. More on that later in the week. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great. And above all, take care of yourselves. Stop believing the lies other people tell you. You're worth it.